Got a question for you guys. Are you nosy or are you just inquisitive? Sometimes people pull up. I live in a road that's quite narrow. There's not a pavement or anything like that. It's quite a skinny road. And sometimes people pull up outside our place and yeah, you kind of look up, not necessarily pull the curtains back and stuff like that, but you look up to see who it is. You know what I mean? Am I being nosy or am I just being inquisitive? Sometimes there's a thin line there, eh? I think we can be quite inquisitive of the world around us, and that's not always a bad thing. But I don't think sometimes I don't think we're inquisitive enough about ourselves. What do I mean by that? Last night, Louise led our Bible study, and we're going through a series on Sabbath, and I'm going to probably do some posts on that at some stage because it really is good stuff for us to get our heads around. But she started the evening off by reading off a whole load of feelings, various different feelings, let down and just various different emotions and feelings that you can feel in a day. Emotions, I think things like anger incorporate a lot of things like joy, happiness, they incorporate a lot of different feelings. And she read off a whole load of these stuff. They all had sections. One was happy, one was sad, one was angry, one was, I'm looking at my sheet, fearful, and one was confused. And different feelings that come under those umbrellas. And I found it a really helpful exercise, but that's just where I'm at in my life at this stage. But what was interesting for me is I was kind of aware of other people in the room. My mate was sitting next to me. I'm not going to name him. But he wasn't writing down. But the idea was that Louise read them out, and we were supposed to write down the things that we felt during the day. Obviously she gave the word, and did you feel that? Yes, no, write it down. And I wrote down quite a lot. I mean, we all laughed at you just how much I'd written down. But I was aware that other people around me weren't writing down so much. I mean, as I say, my mate next door to me, he was kind of like one or two things, if that he wrote down. I was being cheeky and kind of caught eye of his sheet. What I want to talk about really, if we don't know what feelings, if we don't know what we're feeling, if we don't know what we're going through, if we're not inquisitive as to what we're going through in our life day by day, then how can we even begin to address the stuff? If I don't know that something, if I don't take the time to recognize that something you said to me hurt me, or something I witnessed angered me, or something my daughter did just filled me with so much joy, if I don't acknowledge that stuff and even to some degree kind of give it a label, am I able to process it? Am I able to process it? And the joy stuff, maybe that doesn't need so much processing. Maybe we can just be thankful for that stuff. But the harder stuff needs to be processed, because if we don't process it, it tends to bottle up in our lives. And I like to use the analogy of a shelf. If you have a shelf, maybe it's a sturdy enough shelf, but you pile stuff onto that shelf. Some of it light, some of it heavy. And eventually, the more you pile onto it, if you pile too much onto it, that shelf is going to collapse, it's going to give way. And I think our lives are a bit like that. Sometimes there's some light stuff, we can fill it up all day and no problem. But sometimes some of the stuff goes deeper and it's heavier. It's stuff that hurts us, And if we keep on taking that stuff, eventually we're going to break. Eventually the shelf is going to come tumbling down. And that break might be, go into a fit of anger, or you have a nervous breakdown, or you just go into that kind of silent place where you're just no use to anybody and no communication, no connection with anybody, whatever it looks like for you, So my challenge for myself and for all of us is, and this isn't so easy for men, I think women are better at this than men, I think I've already kind of mentioned it in one of the purposes for this group. I named this group Man Aware because I think we need to be more aware of what is going on in our lives. I don't think we need to be constantly introspective, but we need to, when we've got a moment, just kind of think about what the day has looked like. What have I experienced feeling-wise in my day? Is there anything that I need to process? We've all had it, eh? We've had a bad day at work, and yeah, we bring it home with us. Yeah, and everyone around us, our loved ones, yeah, get the result of that. Whereas if we kind of learnt to process some of the stuff that we felt in the day, maybe we can deal with it before we actually bring it to our family. Anyway, guys, I'm working this stuff through in my life. I'm not saying I've got it all sewn up in a bag, but I think over this last year or so, I've become more aware of my emotions, more aware of my feelings, and what I need to do with them in order to, live with them healthily. Yeah, I think it's Chris Valentin or Jay Valentin from the Brave course said, emotions and feelings, we don't choose these things. We don't get up in the morning and think, oh, I want to be angry. I want to be hurtful today, or I want to be hurt today. We don't choose our feelings, our emotions. They happen to us. But what we do next with them is something that we're in control of. So I want to encourage you to recognize and even label what you're feeling, and then do the right thing with them. Anyway, guys, I hope that was helpful. I hope you have a really wonderful weekend, and I look forward to speaking to you again soon. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Bless you.